Hello and welcome back to Skyrim A through Z mods, lore, and more. I am, as always, Inquisitor Aura, and I will be your guide through the lore-rich world of Nirn. This week we're going to be taking a look at the Bretons. Now, there's some very important things to note about the Bretons. The first is that they are a mixed breed. The Bretons are half elf, half human. Either at Morin, which would be the Nords, and the Nedic. The Nedic people are the Imperials, the Imperials from the Alessian Empire. And they are also referred to as the Man-Mer, which is kind of derogatory, but I don't think they really seem to mind. Because of this elven blood, they are extraordinarily potent spellcasters. They have a very high resistance to magic, as well as an innate magical skill, making them amazing battle mages. And the Bretons themselves have developed a very outgoing and adventurous outlook on life. Now, the Bretons are from the province of High Rock. High Rock is far to the northwest of Tamriel. It is bordered by Hammerfell on the south and Skyrim to the east. And there is evidence of human settlement in High Rock long before the Aldmer settlers moved in. This is also the home of the Adamantine Tower, also known as the Dureni Tower or the Tower and Adamantia. Now, the Adamantine Tower is on Balfier Island, and it is said to be the oldest thing on Tamriel, quite possibly the oldest thing on Nirn itself. The tower was there when the Aldmer initially started settling into High Rock, and the tower dates back to the beginning of history. Beginning of history in Tamrielic lore being the early Merithic era, year 2500. So yes, been around for a while. This is the place that many believe that the gods convened once Nirn was created to decide the fate of Mundus. High Rock is full of rolling hills and soft plains that make for a very agrarian lifestyle, but their society is a little medieval. They are feudal and hierarchical society. Most Bretonians are middle class or destitute, but there are many paths to nobility and fame and fortune. This has led to a quest mentality for young Bretons who go out for glory to get into a noble's good graces and achieve enough wealth to earn or buy themselves a noble position. And there's an old saying amongst the Bretons: find a new hill, become a king. And they have embraced this mentality. It's important to know that the Bretons are not a united people. Currently, High Rock is split into kingdoms. The kingdoms of Evermore, which is near the border of Hammerfell; Daggerfall, which is on the southern tail of High Rock, south of Camlorn; Wayrest, in the southeastern central area of High Rock; North Point, which is in the high northwestern corner of High Rock; and Camlorn, which is also on the southern tail. Now, there used to be 44 kingdoms in High Rock. So, yeah, like you said, find a new hill, become a king. It was very much a part of who and what the Bretons were. But an event came through and changed that. It's called the Warp in the West. It is also known as the Miracle. In the Third Era, year 417, events stemming from the death of King Lysandus of Daggerfell caused the Warp, aka the Miracle of Peace. An unknown hero, said to be an agent of the Blades, gained control of the Totem of Tiber Septum, but was unable to use it. On the 9th of Frostfall of that year, there were 44 kingdoms in High Rock. A series of anomalies and mysterious cataclysms took place over those next 2 days. Catastrophic loss of life, destruction of land and property. And by the 11th of Frostfall, There were only 4 kingdoms left, and all 4 of those kingdoms swore allegiance to the then Emperor of Cyrodiil, and those kingdoms were Sentinel, Daggerfall, Wayrest, and Orsinium. Going even further back, though, is an interesting part of High Rock's history, and that's called the Durrani hegemony. I think I pronounced that right. I'm not actually sure. We're going to go with that. Clan Durrani of the Altmer. Now, these are Altmer who had been settled in High Rock for some time. They were a merchant family. They were founded in the First Era, year 355, though they were unofficially present since the Merithic Era. They were a large enough mercantile and military power to hold back both the Nords of Skyrim and the Neds of Cyrodiil until the Skyrim conquests in the first millennia, year 240, led to High Rock's annexation by the First Nordic Empire. Now, by the year 369, the Nords were unable to hold that territory outside of Skyrim due to the assassination of High King Borgus by the Bosmer Wild Hunt. If you remember back to the Bosmer episode, I mentioned that. And by the year 477, the Durrani hegemony controlled 1/4 of Tamriel's total landmass, including parts of Hammerfell, Skyrim, and Cyrodiil. Now, they were able to do this by the exodus of the Aelids from Cyrodiil after the Alessian Revolution. What Aelids did not go to Valenwood ended up going to High Rock and joining with the Durrani hegemony to make them stronger. The hegemony started incursions into Cyrodiil later on, which led to a failed invasion of Durrani lands in the Battle of Glenumbria Moors in the first millennium, year 482. The victory, however, was extraordinarily costly, and eventually it did cause a collapse of the hegemony. And that's when the 44 kingdoms started, and that's when everybody started finding land and trying to get power for themselves. Now, you can't mention the Bretons without mentioning the Forsworn. The Forsworn are native Breton and Nordic folk, madmen or the witch folk of the Reach. They have a very unique, tree-hugging, almost druidic lifestyle, and they are extraordinarily adept at magic, even more so than the Bretons. Hag ravens have been known to take up with the Forsworn and served as spiritual leaders. Now, the Forsworn were citizens of the Reach prior to the Markarth incident in the Fourth Era, year 176. The Reach is hotly contested for many, many years due to the rich silver mines and its strategic location. It actually seceded from the Reman Empire during the Interregnum in the Second Era, but was reconquered by Hjalti Earlybeard, who later became Tiber Septim. They rose up and took Markarth in year 174, and the Reach became an independent nation for 2 years, with aid from Breton inhabitants, but was taken back by Ulfric Stormcloak a year after the signing of the White Gold Concordat. Now, despite being ousted from power and pretty much culturally ostracized, because they are very, very wild, very in tune with nature, and very hippie-ish. Hippies, it's okay. They still view the entirety of the Reach as their ancestral land and do not want the Nords in there at all, nor the Empire's legal authority over it. So there you have it with the Forsworn. They have started a rebellion, and they are fighting to retake their ancestral homeland using half-dead peoples and crazy magics and hag ravens to get their dirty work done. Alright, why don't we go ahead and we're going to take a look at our quest, and we're going to be looking at the quest for Red Eagle's Sword, or the quest called Legend of the Red Eagle. Okay, now this quest is acquired by reading a book, The Legend of the Red Eagle book. This book can be found around the world, but guaranteed locations that anyone can access with ease are right here in the Silverblood Inn. As you can see, I'm looking at it right now. You can go to the Arcanium in the College of Winterhold, and it will be there. If you go to Whiterun, Farengar, Secret Fire's Library, and Dragon Reach will have a copy. And Ulfric's room in the Palace of Kings in Windhelm will also have it. Now, let me take a second, hit you with some lore. Red Eagle, or Faulan, was a Reachman leader during the First Era who refused to yield when Empress Hestra came to conquer the Reach in the First Era, 1033. He made a deal with a Hagraven, sacrificing his humanity and becoming a Briarheart, which is half-living, half-dead creature, in order to gain the power to repel the Imperial invaders, which he eventually did. Now, ultimately, he was killed, but not before decimating the Imperial invasion force. Now, the steps of this quest are actually relatively simple. You're going to follow your quest area, which I showed you on the map earlier, and you're going to fight your way up the mountain to get to Red Eagle's Ascent. Now, you're going to have to kill pretty much all of the Forsworn on your way up here, so it's not really a huge deal. As you can see, I took care of it with relative ease. You're going to fight your way to the top of Red Eagle's Ascent, then you're going to go through the tunnel and fight your way through to Red Eagle Redoubt, which is where I am right now. At the top, you're going to face the Forsworn Briarheart, this guy right here, who is wearing nothing. You're going to take him down, and now he's going to be hard, so you're going to need to plot and plan a little bit to get what you need. And you're going to take 2 items off of his body. You're going to take the sword and the key. You're going to need the key to get through the tunnel, or the tower. The key, this key right here, that one right there, will open up this door. And this door is the fastest way for you to get to the next stage of the quest, which is to go to Rebel's Cairn. Now, to drop this bridge, come into this door, pull on this chain. See, raise it up, drop it down. No problem. You're going to go to Rebel's Cairn, which is where Red Eagle was buried. And you're going to just go in here. You're going to place the sword into the weapon slot, and it's going to open up that wall over there. You can go on ahead, go on through. Now, you can't take the sword with you, because as soon as you turn around and you go back, you pull the sword out, it's going to close it. But you're going to come in here, and you're going to fight Red Eagle. Now, Red Eagle's not going to be alone. He's going to have skeletons. If you're a lower level, some things you're going to want to do is probably have an Atronach or a couple of followers. That's fine. As you can see here, I decided to use 2 Storm Atronachs, because why not? 2 Storm Atronachs. But there's more than one way. This is just how I did it as a mage, and I'm a little bit higher level right here. I'm about level 40, so this is kind of a little bit easier for me. But you can also, if you have a high enough sneak skill, you can stay crouched and shoot him to death. Or you can just get as many people as you can to have, because if you have the Atronachs like I do, or you have followers, they will take out the skeletons, which are going to spawn around the room, and then they'll help you take out Red Eagle. So those are just a couple of the easier ways. And when you loot his body, you can get the Honed Ancient Great Sword of Burning, which is okay. It's not anything great. And behind this coffin there is a chest and some shelves containing some loot. Now you can go back out of the tunnel here, and you can pick up Red Eagle's Bane. And I'm not gonna say it's a good sword, but it's kind of bland looking. But you know, there are mods out there that will make this prettier, so you can go ahead and take a look at those. And here you go. Congratulations, you have defeated Red Eagle and gotten his sword. See, it's kind of boring, but whatever. Why don't we go ahead and move on to our mod. I picked a good mod for us this week, so why don't we go ahead and we're going to head over to Whiterun, and we're going to get started. Okay, so for the mod, I chose the Forsworn Legacy by Verita once again. I'll have the link in the description below. Now, this is a faction quest hub thing, okay? So what you're going to do, there's 2 versions. There's the new game version, which you'll get when you start a new game. and you'll get the quest when you leave the tutorial cave. I would actually not recommend this, as this has been known to bug out the game to the point where you can't even begin the main storyline. And then there's the save game option, which is what I did here, where you go to the Drunken Huntsman and you read the note. Just follow the directions of the note, and it's going to send you out here to Jurak Redoubt, and you need to talk to Hearn. Now, for those of you who are interested, Hearn is actually the name of the ancient Celtic god of the wild hunt, so you can kind of see a little of where the mod author got his inspiration from this. You're going to go here and you're going to do this quest. All you got to do is just run up the redoubt until you see Hearn. Now Hearn's going to be standing outside, and he's going to walk up and he's going to talk to you. So don't try interacting with him because it could bug out the mod. Just let him initiate the conversation, and he's going to ask you questions. You're going to just answer them. It doesn't make a difference how. I'm a new Forsworn member. You can do this as any race as well. So you don't have to be a Breton or a Nord or whatever. You can do this as anyone, and he's going to give you a quest. Now the quest is to go take care of some sellswords in Karthwasten. No problem, right? Because of the silver mines there, because that, once again, Markarth and the Reach are very hotly contested because of these resources that they have. He's going to ask you to basically go prove yourself and go take care of these minions, these silver blood minions. Now, there are going to be... This is just the first of the quests. There's blood on your silver. I found that funny. There's going to be more than one quest to this. But I'm not going to tell you about all of them because I want you to go out and explore this for yourself. Because I've played through this whole mod, and it's very fun. It's interesting. Things that you need to know, though, is that people have reported when playing this mod with the alternate start live another life mod, they've reported problems. I'm not really sure what they are. I played it with alternate start live another life, and I didn't have any issues. So play at your own risk. And there will, like I said, there will be other quests after this. I'm not going to tell you how many, but I will tell you that one of them will be a side quest to get Red Eagle's Bane, because Red Eagle, once again, is a Forsworn hero, so that makes a little bit of sense. That being said, when you complete this quest line for the whole mod, and I mean every one of the quests, because there's a series of main quests, and then you have a series of side quests, you will not get the No One Escapes Sidna Mine quest. And I'm not going to tell you why, because you'll be able to see that for yourself when you finish the quest. So, if you hate that quest as much as I do, you'll be happy you don't have to do it now. If you don't hate that quest, I suggest you get it out of the way before you come here. That way you get all of the info and the intro. Now, the best part about this mod is that there's a couple little areas for you to explore. As you can see, they have their own little cave system in here, and it's got all the things you're going to need. You're going to have your blacksmith, you're going to have your enchanting and alchemy, and none of these guys are going to hurt you. None of the Forsworn anywhere in the game will attack you now after you finish this first quest, which is great because I hate being attacked randomly by the Forsworn just because I happen to be in the area. Another great thing is that you're going to have access to some of the more cosmetic changes that the Forsworn have. So you're going to have access to their armors. Each one of the quests you complete is going to give you money. It's going to give you some Forsworn armor, and you're going to be able to equip that. And they'll be light, heavy, and no armor versions, so all of your characters can wear all of the armor. But I think the most fun part about this mod is that you'll finally have access to this awesome Forsworn facial tattoos. Because I like the vanilla facial tattoos or the war paints as they're considered, but some of them are kind of bland, except for like the orc face one. That's pretty cool. But these ones are spectacular because they're Celtic and they're very clean and crisp and drawn and very beautiful. Well, that's it for me. Hope you enjoyed watching this. Hope to see you back again next week. Have a great week.